I'm going to formally welcome these two with these ancient words that simply say, "Blessed is the one who comes in the name of God." Baruch haba b'shem Adonai. Baruch haba b'shem Adonai. Baruchim habayim b'shem Adonai. These two who are together under this magnificent chuppah with these beautiful people, what an incredible collection, an intimate but incredible collection of souls who are here to guide these two. These two are going to now participate in this, enact this beautiful ancient ceremony of the groom and the bride circling one another. And it signifies, much like the orbiting of the planets, the connectedness and the gravity, you might say, that these two have in one another's lives. So I want to invite you to hold one another's hands. And just look into each other's eyes for one brief moment, knowing that as you take these steps, you're doing what Jewish brides and grooms have been doing for centuries, signifying that you've now taken a place at the center of one another's lives. So first, you're going to circle your kala 3 times. Yep, because we're doing it. Come this way. Come towards me. Sorry, my bad. That was my bad. That's 1. That's 2. I lost count at my wedding, so I don't let that happen. And now you're going to circle your chatan 3 times. You're going to go that way. It's okay. Everyone take a breath. We're all right. Wow. Beautiful.
This way?
Go this way. Yeah. That's 1. I think that was 3. Yeah. So now you're gonna look at each other, and you can't really hold his hands, right? But that's okay. So now you're gonna rotate this way and just look at each other and do a kind of circle parallel to each other. There you go. Looking at each other's faces. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Ya da da ya da da ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 da. Now I'm going to sing this. I'm going to sing these words in Hebrew. It translates as, "May the one who is supreme in all things, blessing and glory, bless this bridegroom and this bride. Mi adir al hakol mi baruch al hakol mi gadol al hakol gadol al hakol hu yivarech chatan v'hakala hu yivarech chatan v'hakala." In the Jewish tradition, the relationship between God and the Jewish people, we might say God and humanity, is likened to the relationship between a bride and groom. There's many midrashim, many ancient teachings that draw this analogy. And usually we think about it as a way to understand the relationship between humanity and God. It's a love relationship, but we can also turn it around and use it as a way to think about the relationship between bride and groom, between two partners coming together in marriage, which is to say that it's not just a relationship, to use modern parlance. It's not just finding your person, that there's something of an element of holiness that is an essential part of a relationship. This is a distinct kind of relationship that's unlike any other relationship you have, whether at work or with friends, with rabbis, with other teachers, that this is something totally unique that allows you each to become your very best selves and to find meaning about who you are in the deepest kind of relationship. And it's not only that, but in creating a relationship and, God willing, creating a home and a family together. And by the way, your children are going to have two teachers as parents, so I just want to tell you, you got to already work on being compassionate. But that you're really you're establishing what has always been the center of Jewish life. The center of Jewish life is not the synagogue. It's not the Beit Midrash, the house of study or a library. The center of Jewish life and the generator of morality and of teachings and of wisdom has always been the Jewish home. And so therefore we can say that there is an essential element of holiness in what all of us are part of today. So I'm going to fill the first cup of wine. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al ha'ariyot v'asar lanu et ha'ursot v'hitir lanu et nesuot lanu al yedei chuppah v'kedushin. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh amo Yisrael al yedei chuppah v'kedushin. As they each take a sip of the wine, we've just blessed God, who creates the fruit of the vine and who creates holy and sanctified relationships through the mitzvah of chuppah and the ritual of kiddushin, the rituals of the Jewish traditions of marriage. As you share the wine, as you shared the wine of this cup, may you share all of the blessings that come with a relationship of love, commitment, and understanding. I want to invite up those who have their rings.
This one?
Yeah, sure. You can place them each in each of their hands. Remember, he gets hers and she gets his. That can be confusing.
We did try that out.
Okay, good. You practiced?
Yeah, we did
Okay.
practice that, yes.
All right. You can step to the side. So, David, you are going to recite these words, which mean, by this ring you are consecrated to me as my wife in accordance with the law of Moses and the people Israel. So you're going to repeat after me. You're looking at her. Hare.
Hare.
At.
At.
Mikudeshet.
Mikudeshet.
Li.
Li.
Bataba'at.
Betaba'at.
Zo.
Zo.
Kadat.
Kedat.
Moshe.
Moshe.
Ve'Yisrael.
Israel.
Okay, you can place it on her finger. Yep, perfect. And now you, looking at your chatan, are going to say this. Hare.
Hare.
Ata.
Ata.
Mikudash.
Mikudash.
Li.
Li.
Bataba'at.
Bataba'at.
Zo.
Zo.
Kadat.
Kadat.
Moshe.
Moshe.
Ve'Yisrael.
Israel.
So, in accepting this ring, you each pledge to one another your love and your devotion and affection. Okay? Yeah, you need to put it on his finger. Wow, those are really beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Okay, so can you step over there? Asher koach. So now, a Jewish wedding ceremony, though it all sort of takes place at one moment, is actually comprised of different components that over time have kind of been placed together. And Kiddushin and Nisuin Kiddushin means holiness, and that's the initial part of the ceremony. And usually we think of a wedding kind of culminating in the exchange of rings. But Jews really know how to draw things out and like make it more, stretch it out to find all of the beauty and the drama in it. And so that's what we do. And so the second part of the ceremony is called Nisuin. Nisuin is usually just translated as marriage, but really there's something so profound in the true meaning of Nisuin, because it comes from the verb linsoa, which means to, among other things, it means to hold up, to elevate. And so when we naso something, we're holding it up. And so the two of you are holding up so many things. You're holding up the joy and the happiness of these people who are around you and who brought you to this moment. And you're holding up one another. And so as we head into the Nisuin, the culmination of the wedding ceremony itself, we demarcate this crossing over with the reading of the ketubah. So I'm going to read parts of the ketubah now, and then we'll continue. Okay? I'm going to grab this. The print on these gets smaller year by year. I don't know why they do it like that. Okay, so Bechad B'chodesh, Bechad B'Shabbat. So on the first of Shabbat, meaning on the first day of the week, that is on Sunday, on the 17th it says, B'Shiva Asar Yom, on the 17th, L'Chodesh Adar Bet, in the month of the Adar 2. Shanat Chmishit Alpaim Sheva Me'ot U'Shmonim V'Shtayim. In the year 5782, L'Briat Olam, dating from the creation of the world. L'Briat Olam, Kan B'Portland, here in, anybody want to guess what Portland means in Hebrew? See, you guys are really, really good. David ben Daniel, Lebayet Goldstein, David ben Daniel, and Rivka bat Me'ira, and that's just the names of each of them, said to each one another, you will be my partner in life. And so I'm going to read this in the English. This is to testify that on the date that I've already laid out, in the year 5782, corresponding to this date, here in Portland, Oregon, David and Rivka said to David said to Rivka, "Be my wife according to the laws and traditions of Moses and the Jewish people. I will work on your behalf and honor and sustain and support you according to the practice of Jewish men who faithfully work on behalf of their wives and honor, sustain, and support them." And Rivka said to David, "Be my husband according to the laws and traditions of Moses and the Jewish people. I will work on your behalf and honor, sustain, and support you according to the practice of Jewish women who faithfully work on behalf of their husbands, honor, sustain, and support them." And it goes on to lay out the terms of the relationship in accordance with the Jewish tradition. And then at the very bottom of it, you see their signatures. And the witnesses' signatures are up here, one in English, one in Hebrew, and then the signature of the rabbi. And this ketubah will hang in their home as a symbolic reference point of the commitment and the relationship that they have to one another, but also, you can just set that on the frame, but also, as I said to them just before we came out, of their commitment to the Jewish people and the ways of the Jewish tradition. What I think is so magnificent about this special couple is the way that each of them, as individuals, personally, but also as learners, and maybe it's because you're both teachers, have this commitment to learning about the Jewish tradition and to deepening their connection to it and establishing a home that is going to be in the right way for them, profoundly connected to the Jewish tradition and therefore to the Jewish future. And so the ketubah it represents their commitment to that, which is a primary value for both of them. Okay, so we are now going to partake in one of the most beautiful rituals that is in the entire Jewish tradition, which is the Sheva Brachot, the 7 blessings. And before we do that, I want to just take a moment for each of you to, especially speaking to your parents and those who taught you and brought you to this moment, who've been guiding you all their lives. I want to recognize what a big mazel this is for each of you. You've great job. I just want to say great job. You've helped guide some really magnificent people to be at this moment. And the long, twisted, difficult, arduous, joyful, crazy path of parenthood, twisted all the way from where these two came into the world right up to this very moment, where you're set to launch them into the greatest joy of partnership with others. And I just want to recognize what this moment means for you and to say Mazel Tov to you. So I'm going to read these in English and then in Hebrew. This first one says, "Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who creates the fruit of the vine." I'm going to top this off. Well, not to get too crazy, but just to make sure our cup overflows. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. This next one says, "Praised are you, sovereign our God, sovereign of the universe, who creates all things for God's glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehakol bara lichvodo." The third one is, "Praised are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who creates human beings. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer ha'adam." The fourth one is, "Praised are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who creates man and woman in your image, fashioning them from one another, so that together they might perpetuate life. Blessed are you, God, creator of human beings." Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher yatzar et ha'adam b'tzalmo b'tzelem demut tavnito v'ikdin lanu mimenu b'binyan adei ad. Baruch atah Adonai yotzer ha'adam. The next one says, "May Zion rejoice as her children are restored to her in joy. Praised are you, God, who causes Zion to rejoice at her children's return and return in peace." Sostasis v'tegel hakara b'kibutz baneha l'tocha b'simcha. Baruch atah Adonai mesameach Tzion b'vaneha. The sixth blessing, "Grant perfect joy to these loving companions, as you did to the first man and the first woman in Gan Eden, in the Garden of Eden. Praised are you, God, who grants joy to bride and groom." Samach tismach re'ut ha'uvim kismach chayticha began Eden mikedem. Baruch atah Adonai mesameach chatan v'chala. The seventh blessing, "Praised are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who creates joy and gladness, bride and groom, mirth, song, delight, and rejoicing, love, harmony, peace, and companionship. Adonai our God, may there ever be heard in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Yerushalayim voices of joy and gladness, voice of bride and groom, the jubilant voice of those joined in marriage under the Chuppah, the voices of young people feasting and singing, and the sound of peace. Praised are you, Adonai, who causes the groom and the bride to rejoice with one another. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bara sason v'simcha chatan v'chala gila rina ditza v'chedva ahava v'achava v'shalom v'reut mehera Adonai Eloheinu yishama ba'arei Yehuda u'v'chutzot Yerushalayim Kol sason v'kol simcha, kol chatan v'kol kala. Kol sason v'kol simcha, kol chatan v'kol kala. Kol atalut chatanim mechupatam, v'ne'iram b'mishte v'neginatam. Baruch atah Adonai, mesamech chatan, Im hakala. Yeah. Kol sason v'kol simcha, kol chatan v'kol kala. Kol sason v'kol simcha, kol chatan v'kol kala. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Uv'chutzot Yerushalayim. Kol sason v'kol simcha, kol chatan v'kol kala. Kol sason v'kol simcha, kol chatan v'kol kala. Now almost the moment we've all been waiting for. This is our item. Okay, so what I want to say to the two of these beautiful people is that, and actually in just a moment I'm going to turn my back to you so you can see them as I offer them these words of blessing. These words that I'm about to bless you with come all the way, as you know, from Aharon, HaKohen HaGadol, Moses' brother Aaron, who would use these words to bless the Jewish people and to draw blessing down to them. Not because Aaron himself was an individual so unique that only a priest could bless the people. That would run counter to the Jewish tradition. Rather, to serve as a reminder that the blessing that comes down from God always comes through a human being. So to me, that's the great teaching of the priestly benediction, that human beings are the ones who bring God's blessing into the world. And a model of what two human beings can be to one another, the support and the love and the affection that they can bring to one another, models the holiness that our world is desperately, desperately in need of. We need more love in the world, more caring, more compassion, and that's essential for each of us and for all of us. So with that, I'm going to stand over here, and I'm going to have you guys come close. And we're going to get ready. I'm going to walk around behind you so I can put this around your shoulders. Okay. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ye'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God's light shine radiantly upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God lift up God's face to you and bless you and all of us with peace. Okay, now you can face one another once more. So this ritual, which we've all seen in movies and we've seen 1,000 times, and we know is such an important part of our tradition, this actually comes right out of the Gemara, right out of the Talmud. And it's a mystery as to why we do this. There's many different suggestions as to why, but one of them that I like the most is that even at this moment of harmony and joy and happiness and overflowing, even then we remember the brokenness of the world. And so as this shatters, we remember that we're never to be totally lost in joy. We always turn the love and the good energy and the happiness that we get from happy events, and we try to pour those into the world so that the world might be more healed and more blessed. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, now don't like step on my hand or anything, okay? Just take a moment, so don't quite do it yet. I'll let you know when. You come close. Is everybody ready?
We're ready. We're waiting a long time.
Okay. Yep. One more time. Mazel tov! Yehelanu, 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 Uvechol Yisrael. Uvechol Yisrael, Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Uvechol Yisrael. Siman tov and mazel tov and mazel tov and siman tov and mazel Yisrael. Siman tov and mazel tov and siman. Yeah, I got it. Siman tov and mazel tov and siman tov and mazel tov and siman tov and mazel tov and siman tov. Yehelanu, 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 Uvechol Yisrael. Yeah. Oh no, it's okay. This is my job. I don't want you guys to get cut. That's a smart idea. Sure. Thank you so much.
Sure, you bet.